Hello, hello, hello. Hold on one second. Shut that for a minute. Okay, guys. Hi. Hey, Ducky. Awesome. I just messaged you to let you know I'm going live. I just had a little bit of an epiphany. I'm really tired of being stuck in this fear and anxiety. Hey, Anne. My thing is I've been stuck in this fucking anxiety. Hey, Rose. It's good to see you guys. One of the things that raises my vibration is actually doing these videos, and I need to be doing them. And I think that I'm getting in my own way behind the fear and the anxiety. And I was talking to my teacher last night, and he was saying I just need to get out of my own way. And so I'm going to attempt to do a weekly for you guys at least, and see if how these weeklies go. I don't know if I can commit to every day. I'm going to see how I feel after this weekly. But I've also done a whole ceremony prior to this, blessing both this live and all of those that watch it, and my space here and myself. I've set up protections and all of that, so I am going to try and see if that actually changes the energy of this live and allows me to be able to do it successfully. Okay? So, I'm back. I am going to try and not allow my fear and anxiety too much into the reading. That was my fear, and that's why I backed off, guys, is because I was afraid that some of the cards that were coming up, like Tower and things like that, I was like, oh, is that for me or is that for everybody? And so that was starting to panic me, and my teacher was telling me, like, you've got some stuff that you need to kind of work out, that Spirit's going to take this away from you. And I've never really had that experience with Spirit, but I've also never dealt with mediumship. So I don't know what that's like. Maybe mediums do get their gifts stripped. I've never had, I mean, I've had days where I don't read quite so well, or it's an off day, but I've never had like where I just felt like I couldn't read. And I think taking that from a teacher, not that he meant it in any sort of bad way, but I think I took that to heart, and I was already going through a lot of worry, and I didn't want to do any harm to anybody else. That was my big thing. So I didn't want to be putting out readings that could potentially be setting people up to feel sad or to feel anything that I'm feeling, right? So, and that was part of my video that I put up about being responsible for our energy. So that's why I backed off and took some time to meditate and sort out what's going on with my energy. I'm still in that process, but that doesn't mean that I can't necessarily separate my process from these readings and give you guys your forecast, okay? So I am going to do the forecast for today. We're doing June 9th through the 15th. So let's look and see what's going on, okay? Hey, Denise, it's good to see you guys too. And the thing is I've been like real low energy, and I couldn't figure out what it is. And what I've been doing laying in meditation, or like in the chair or in the bed, in this morning I was realizing it's like I'm hiding out. I'm just like in my fear and stuck and in my own way, like Kennedy says, like my teacher, he's like, you just need to get out of your own way. But then I'm also hearing like, you need to stop doing the onlines. And then I'm like, but that's the whole point of what I was doing. And that's what brings me joy. And that's the thing that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. So I got really confused. And my tears are not a bad thing. They let me know that like something's going on here, which is where I believe my soul resides, right? And so I really think that I am supposed to at least do weeklies, if not every day. But I miss you guys. I miss doing the readings. I know this is my purpose. I'm just scared of it. I want to be living in my purpose, and it's real easy to hide out and say, oh no, don't do it now. You don't want to harm anybody else or anything like that. So, continue your joy. It's okay to be confused. Yes, I'm their friend, you know. Thank you, Denise. Okay, so if you guys want to share this out to some groups, and not to that share because I had to share group, Ducky. That's like useless. That's like 5 of us. We all know what's in there. Let me see if I can find it and I can share it to groups. I don't know if I even can. But I need to get back on the ball. I need to get back to where my mojo was working and where I felt like things were okay. Because if I don't, then I'm just going to be stuck in this fear place and it's not going to work. So it's time to get my ass in gear. Okay, so share. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. How do I do this? If I'm sharing it to the wrong places, please let me know. Send me a letter or something that says, please do not share it to me or to my group, and I will stop doing that. I think that one's a no-go. They're just about talking about Tarot. But anyways, it's good. It feels good to be back. I'm a little nervous, right? Because I've been off for, a week or so, and I'm a little nervous that, I don't know what's going to come out, but I'm going to not let my nerves get the best of me. That's the thing. We were also going over that in class yesterday. He was telling us, he's like, don't be nervous. Don't worry about the results. And so I'm going to just go with it because this is what I feel like I want to be doing. This is where I feel like I'm connecting with people. I'm not necessarily connecting with folks very much in person here in Mexico. So here's where my stuff is. Hey, Barbara, good to see you back too. Thank you. Okay, so let's all take a deep breath. Breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. Oh, that feels good. Can we do another one? Imagine positive signs coming in through your nose and filling your body with positivity. And then releasing negative signs out your mouth. I was taught that by my teacher, Kennedy, and I love it. Let's do that one more time. Just fill your body with the positive signs. Release the negativity. Okay, so let's see what the cards have. I'm going to shuffle. I hope you guys are well. I've missed you all this week. I've been caught up in my own head drama bullshit, and I need to get free of it. Okay, I'm going to say this. The cards have a little bit of resistance. Feels a little bit like it's going to be either a slow-moving week or like a sludgy week. Like we might have to work through some stuff. This might just be, like I said, me personally, but some of you also might experience this. You don't have to experience everything that comes across in the reading. That's always the truth. It is a forecast. We do have a joke about me being a spiritual meteorologist, hence why I wear the glasses. So some of these cards represent for maybe a day or two during the week, and then the midweek, and then the later week, right? It just gives us like a little forecast of what could happen in the near coming future so we can better prepare ourselves. It doesn't necessarily mean it's set in stone. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to experience it, right? So the first card is the Man of Cups, which is Surfer. And I like this card. It feels to me very light and buoyant, and it's kind of like the energy that I'm like sort of seeking right now, to be honest. It's the energy that I need to be in. It's an emotional energy, and it's a man's cup. It's a Man of Cups, so it's an adult energy. Like it's an awareness. There's a how do I want to say it? Like a knowledge with this card that says to me that he knows who he is. He's not too emotionally deep. Not that he's not emotionally deep, but he doesn't want to get too emotionally deep this week, over the next few days. He just wants to enjoy the beauty of life, like this big bright flower here. The waves around him signify that, yeah, there is emotional stuff going on, and he's aware of it, but he doesn't have to necessarily choose to focus on it. And that's good advice for me too. So yeah, I don't know. This is where I kind of started to refrain from reading, because I'm not so sure that I'm not reading just for myself, but maybe it's applying to you guys too. The flowers all around him say that there's beauty all around us, and we just have to be open to it. And we just have to have that sort of surfer mentality where we kind of glide over it, like get into the flow of things. Like last night, Kennedy and I were at dinner, and he was telling me, you need to switch your flow. You need to get to a place where you're in that groove with the positive part of the universe. Because right now, all I'm seeing is sort of this feeling of being stuck in Mexico. And then when I'm in that stuck energy, all I see is the things that are really tragic and sad about Mexico, which is not all of Mexico, right? And I know that because for the first 6 months I was here, it was beautiful and vibrant and wonderful. But so this card tells me that it's going to be an emotional period. We're going to be dealing with our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings around things. And we're going to have a choice. Do we get deep into them and get maybe bogged down by them? Or do we surf over them, over the waves, and enjoy them, acknowledge them, bless them for what they are, and then let them go? It's kind of like that Greg Braden video I posted in the group, I think. That was really beautiful. And I started doing that with things that were sort of shocking me or scaring me. I was saying that, just blessing it for the experience, that yes, maybe that's scary to me, but I bless it for the experience. And there's a song that was playing last night when I was in bed called Trials, and I'll post it to the group, where the lyrics were definitely singing to me about how the trials make us who we are. And I'm just battling right now I'm just going to be honest. I'm battling about whether or not I want to really step forward into doing this full time and what that means. And this surfer card is the buoyant energy that I need to be able to have the freedom to think big, to think open, to think happy, to be positive. Because if I'm stepping forward into it while I'm here in fear about Mexico and all of this stuff, it's going to crash and burn. It's already crashing and burning, is how I feel, like with me not being able to do the readings. So I'm trying to stop that from happening. So I'm using this card in that sense, and I think that if anybody else is going through something similar, this would be a good energy to take into effect starting today and going into the next few days. Keep it light, easy. Focus on what's good, what's beautiful, what's working. I like that it's a man card in the sense that we have strength there. We have adult awareness, right? So we can cover ourselves, we can take care of ourselves, we can, get ourselves through this. We're strong, we're protected, but we can do it in a way that's almost like smooth and easy, like nothing sticks to us when we're in the surfer card. We're just like gliding along, okay? And I love that big white flower. That big white flower says to me that we have a lot of beauty and a lot of gifts to offer when we're in this place. It's kind of like, I'm going to use Ducky as an example. All the positivity that Ducky pumps onto the page, especially in my absence. Sorry guys, I'm just a emotional Sally this last few weeks. But all of that work that Ducky does and all that positivity, like I read it and it really means something, and it's similar to this white flower. It's like putting forth that beauty, that positivity, and giving it to the world and keeping yourself buoyant by doing that. And that's my attempt today, is to try and get back on, support you guys. I know you guys support me, and so I feel like I've sort of stranded you, and I don't want to do that. So I'm back on working it out. My throat chakra is having a moment. Hold on. Let's just open that up a bit. It's like my heart energy is like bottlenecking here, because I feel it so strongly, and it's such a strong feeling that I'm frightened by it. Anyways, so that's our first card for the first few days of the week. It's a nice light energy, but strong and actually swift moving, which is interesting to me because the card shuffle felt a little bit sludgy, like there might be some resistance or some situations we're dealing with that aren't so fun, but we might be able to move through them a little bit quicker if we keep focus on that surfer energy and sort of stay like above it. Don't get dragged down into it. And that's my problem, is I tend to get dragged down into it too much, especially on the emotional front, because I'm a Pisces. And I get caught up in my emotions. Like, they are very important to me. Okay, whoa, hey. Next card is the Moon card. Okay, so we had the masculine. Now let's do a little bit of the feminine. Oh, come on, Mooney. This is a beautiful card. This speaks, first off, it's major arcana, so this is heavy, heavy energy. And I know that Ducky's been reminding me that we've been having lunar eclipses and weird shit going on with the moon all month. I think that there's like 3 different moon events happening this month. Like, during the month, we had the new moon in Gemini, we have an eclipse happening now, and then the full moon, I believe, is on the 17th. So there's a lot of moon activity going on, right? And we're going from the 9th through the 15th, so I'm thinking this is maybe going to be like the 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere in there. We're going to be feeling a little bit introspective, highly intuitive, maybe a little bit sad, like there's a little bit of like melancholy with the moon, I feel like, but it's not like depressed. It's more an introspective sort of going inward, trusting your intuition, feeling who we are on the inside, having an awareness of where our relationships are at, where our partnerships are at. If those of us that don't have partners or want newer partners or different things in our partnerships, we might be feeling that draw, that pull. It comes from a deeper place, comes from a more subconscious place, but it's definitely emotional. Part of the reason why I say that is this wolf howling here. It feels like that wolf is sort of howling for its partner. You see the 2 dolphins traveling together. There's like partnerships happening here, like mating for life sort of stuff. And that wolf, some of us, are bonding in deeper into those partnerships through those dolphins, and some of us are possibly longing for something more or different or new. But this energy to me is also kind of emotional. So it might feel like we might be falling down off of our surfboard from the surfer card, which was buoyant and light in the early part of the week. But this is not a bad fall. This is more of a fall into introspection. This is more of a fall into a place of sort of quiet, intuitive power. This is more a fall into, I don't even want to call it a fall. It's more of a shift into a place where we are able to go inward, trust ourselves, emotionally check ourselves, maybe check some of the emotions that we were surfing over in the early part of the week, and kind of like deal with them, and understand that we have the power, because this is the moon card. She has the power. She's the major arcana, so she's got energy and power behind her. We have the power and the ability to sort of master these things and have these things, as long as we allow ourselves to like sort of intuit them, know them, and then therefore believe them and manifest them, right? So there's a lot of and it's also, I have to say too, this, for me, the moon card is like a kind of a healing space too. So I feel like if the midweek slows down a little bit, or we find ourselves going inward, or maybe feeling a little bit more sad or melancholy, or we're having feelings, check those feelings. Go inside. Ask yourself, why am I having these feelings? What's going on? Is it my partnership? Is it the fact that I'm alone? Is it the fact that I don't trust my own intuition? Is it the fact that I'm not being heard? What is it that's on the other side? The moon represents sort of like the darker side of ourselves. What is it on the other side that's kind of gnawing at us or telling us, hey, maybe this needs to change, right? And so that's what this is about for the midweek, okay? And that could lead for some of you all the way into the end of the week. But right now, that's, hey, Kim Klein, how are you? Right now, that's like your midweek card. Ooh, hot. Maybe I should have saged my house sooner. Shit, bitch. Okay. The next card is the 9 of Wands, which is integrity. I like this card a lot. This card speaks to spiritual integrity to me. It's the Wands card, which deals with spirit. And integrity is always something that we want to have, right? It's something that we want to believe in. I love the church here. I love this statue here. He's very solitary. It feels like, in the end, and I've been doing this in meditation, so I might be putting a little bit too much of my own stuff on this reading. But in the end, we really only have ourselves. And I know that sounds like kind of a depressing thought, but when it all comes down to it, if you really are meditating and you really are looking at stuff, like in the end, we're the ones that sort of are at the door at the end, right? We have loved ones waiting for us on the other side to receive us. We have loved ones on the other side, on this side, that are going to miss us. But in the end, it really comes down to us and our own personal integrity, our own strength, our own ability. And this, to me, is a card about just with the symbology. This spine here signifies a very strength, like strong, like your spine, like as your spine holds up your entire body. So we have the strength, we have the willingness to be at this place of integrity. We have the willingness to like walk this path and to pursue these goals and to believe in ourselves. And I can hear this for myself just as much as I can hear this for any of you. But there is a spiritual goal here that we're all trying to attain, whether we realize it or not. We're at different, my belief is that we're all at different, how do I want to say it, like variations or distances from our spiritual goals. But we all have a return to spirit that happens, and wherever we are in our life, it happens at the point of death, right? But I think that there's those of us that like maybe are successful or whatever in our lives that yearn for something more, and we don't quite know what that is. And I think that some of that is this journey here. And I think that this card represents like sort of those of us that earlier in the week, maybe we're surfing over our stuff and enjoying and being positive and having a good time and bringing in that good energy. And then we go into the moon card where we get a little more introspective and we get a little more deeper and we start to look at like how we're feeling, maybe a little more meditative, using our intuition a little bit more. It brings us to this like nice balanced place at the end of the week of integrity, which is, like I said, a spiritual card. And it's like an awareness. It's like being responsible for who we are, what we know, how we feel, what we're going to do about those feelings, and how those feelings fit into our larger spiritual picture. You know, how our actions are affecting our spiritual picture. You know, I have this situation where my particular thing right now is I just want to stay in bed. It's hard because I have 3 lovely bulldogs that love to sleep, and they snore and they cuddle with me. And they have, like, I call it the Jedi sleep power. But I don't sleep very well at night sometimes because my head is going, because I'm in fear and anxiety. And then I wake up at like 5 in the morning and I'm tired, and I take my dogs out, and then they all climb right back into bed and go right back to bed, and I want to go with them. And I go with them. And what ends up happening is I end up sort of in my head in all this fear of what if this happens, what if that happens, what if this happens, and then that happened, and going into the past and into the future, and I'm not really in the present moment. And I feel like this integrity card says to me, especially with this solitary statue here entering this kind of churchy thing, and there's this long path being walked here by a gentleman with all of these birds taking flight. It's like we all have to take that path at some point. We all have to choose which fork in the road we go, and I think that this card is about that. Maybe for me personally, it's about like, I know that I have integrity. I think I'm afraid of maintaining it or being responsible for it, or I don't know. But I think that others may have similar feelings. But I hope that this card means that we get the opportunity to understand our true strength in who we are spiritually throughout this week, by what we give positively in the beginning of the week, and then by what we look at in the midweek to late week in the moon card, like what we sort of take stock in, what intuitions we have, and where we take those intuitions, how we use them, how we trust them, how we honor them, even if they maybe feel sad, or if they feel off, or if they feel not quite right. How do we let them sit in our space? You know, right now in my meditations, I've been praying a lot for the entire world. It's been funny. Rosemary Hurwitz sent me a thing yesterday for the 1 o'clock world prayer, and I actually stopped in the middle of the street and did the world prayer with people walking by me. But I have been praying for the world. I've been praying for Mexico. I've been praying for a lot of things that I wouldn't normally pray for. And I think that the interesting thing is that's opening up my heart. And I forget at the end, I like add myself to that. And it's important that we add ourselves to our prayers. It's important that we know that we're deserving. It's important that we know that we deserve to be healed and healthy and happy. And I think that that's sort of what scared me away a little bit, is because, I call myself psychic healer, and I do believe that my readings give healings, but I also need healing myself, right? And there is that phrase, healer, heal thyself. And I think that's sort of the spot that I'm in right now, is I'm kind of working a lot on myself, and still gotta, like, realizing as I peel back the layers that I have a lot to look at, and some of it is so old, and I'm just like, it's kind of cool because it comes up in meditation. I'm like, oh, that's old. I can let that go. Like, I know that I'm over that, and I let it go. But, if we don't stop and, like, sort of sift through it, or if I don't stop, I shouldn't speak for anybody else because your meditation experience may be completely different. If we don't stop and sift through it and revisit it and make sure that we're done with it, it could be part of our lives, and we could be acting on it and not even be aware of it. And I'm sure that I'm acting on fears of other things, right? I'm acting on the fears of the things that have gone wrong here for the last 6 months. So, I can choose to continue to be in that space, or I can choose to get on, be with you guys who support me, who love me, who believe in me sometimes more than I believe in myself. And hopefully I will find my integrity, and you guys will find yours, right? I mean, I believe that I am, but when I'm laying in bed till 12 noon because I don't want to go outside the front door, I don't know that that's the best choice in the pursuit of spiritual integrity. The thing is it's humid here. I don't know where to go. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't, I've kind of done everything I wanted to do in Puerto Vallarta at this point. And so this class is getting ready to come to an ending this coming week. And I'm sad about that even. I went there to make friends, meet like-minded people. And there's a wonderful group of people. So, but, even stuff like that makes me a little sentimental, and so maybe I'm just super emotional. But that's kind of why I have backed off from doing these readings. But I will try and do them at least weekly, if not daily. And I will try and find a pop-up opportunity soon too, because I need to make some money. That was the other thing that was freaking me out when I stopped the readings, was it was like, well, what little money I was making was coming in from readings. I've done a couple of private readings, and I'm always available for private readings. Private readings are not an issue because it's just me and one other person, so it's easier for me to differentiate energies. But when it's a whole group of people and, in a pop-up and it's all moving fast and crazy, I get a little bit more wiped out. So, yeah. All right. So that's the reading for this week. It seems like it's going to be a really nice one. Like I said, I'm interested with the sludginess of that shuffle. That might be my sludginess. That might be showing me my slow go. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear from you guys if you feel like you're dragging through this week. But these cards to me all seem very positive and all seem very sort of focused. I mean, starting with focused on being outwardly positive, and then focused on like sort of like balancing the inward with the moon card. And then by the time you get to the 9 of Wands, we have an understanding and a spiritual understanding and an integrity that we stand on our own, and we're good. We're feeling better and stronger about our path. Does that make sense? And if any of you guys want to book a private reading, you can do so. I will put in, that is the link to all my stuff, Facebook, YouTube. Please subscribe. Yes, I'm Jennifer. I am a Pisces, and so that amplifies all the emotions. People don't get that, but we feel everything. And on top of it, I believe I'm empathic, so that doesn't make it any easier. And that's what I was like trying to figure out with Ducky, what is going on with these videos. And then I was doing the mediumship stuff, and that was opening up a whole nother thing that I don't normally tinker with. And that was causing me a little bit of anxiety too. Like, I just was sort of a little bit surprised at, some of the things I was learning was really great and interesting and totally made sense. But things were sort of happening, and then I think I was blocking them because I think I was fearful of them. I still am a little fearful of them. I mean, even when I did that thing with Rose, where I did that reading for Rose and she told me what I had gotten right, it kind of spooked me. Even though I'd gotten like some things off, it sort of knocked me out of my body a little bit. I felt like in shock for like a day. And I was like, did that really just happen? I even was thinking, like, did Rose just like fake that and like make that all up to make me feel good? Oh, you're a Pisces too, Chris. There's a lot of Pisceans in this group. I love it. I'm sorry you haven't slept. It's hard to sleep lately for me. Yesterday, I felt like I was a live wire. It was really weird, and I couldn't shake it. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I meditated. I went and I got a massage. And even during the massage, I was in meditation, like crying, releasing like looking at really old memories and stuff that like don't hurt me or anything, but just sort of like saying goodbye to them and letting them go. Like it's like dead weight. You were messed up for 2 days, Rose. Something's fishy here. Yeah. Pat, are you a fish too? I think you might be. Or Anne? Sorry. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to sign off. Probably go. Yeah, it is. I think it's the moon too. Like the new moon in Gemini, and then the moon eclipse, which I didn't even know about was going on last night. I had like some barometric pressure headache that was sitting on my third eye that I'd never experienced before. It's humid as fuck here right now. So it's like that's part of it too, is like even wanting to get up out of bed when there's air conditioning in the bedroom is like hard to want to do. Because you go out there and you start sweating. It's good seeing you all too. It's really good seeing you all. And hopefully I will be on. You've been burning dragon's blood incense, helped a lot. I'm Pisces too. Amber, awesome. I love dragon's blood incense. I wish I could find some here. And Noel's a Pisces. Yeah, we've got a lot of Pisces in here, which is great. We're super psychic, guys, and super emotional. So Scorpios are too. I think all of the water signs are like really psychic. I mean, everybody's psychic, but the water signs are usually the ones that get real woo-woo. All right, so I will talk to you guys later, and I hope the stream goes through and everybody can see it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it on your personal pages so your friends may see it. Don't be embarrassed. They might benefit from it. Oh, here's another thing I've been doing in meditation, which I forgot to put on with my phone, is, you know, there's the megahertz music. Do you guys know about this on YouTube? I've been listening to it in meditation. Let me show you. Like 432, the deepest healing, let go of any fear and inner conflict. So you go and you press play, and then of course a commercial plays.
Never ask a man if you want him to be your boyfriend.
But it's this music that they talk about how the megahertz actually has an effect on the physical system, and you listen to it. So I listen to it in meditation, and there's different ones. There's like the God frequency, there's just different ones, like opening your throat chakra. They're kind of fun, and you can actually play them in the background while you're sleeping, and they're supposed to still have an effect. Although I never can really fall asleep with them on. So I'll let them play while I relax, and then I end up shutting them off a little bit pissed because I'm not asleep yet. So you guys know them. Okay, cool. Well, just try them. Hey, Lori Hill Malott. All right, you guys. So take this reading, refer back to it. Remember, it's a good week. It might feel going a little bit slower than normal, but that's good. I think that moon card in the middle is what's going to be the slow period. It's going to be that part that sort of sucks you in and makes you have to introspect. But it'll be good. And the integrity card is also something that we want to be slow. We want it to really sort of sink in and become a part of who we are, right? So I think that's maybe some of that sluggishness I was feeling, or that methodicalness that I was feeling in the shuffle, that push. Okay? All right, so have a great day. Maybe you can share the link to the group on the page. I think I did. Did I not? Or can somebody watching it from YouTube share the link? Because I'm on Restream or I'm on OBS. So once I turn off, because I don't know, it doesn't give me a link for. I'm on both? Okay. All right, cool. And you guys can see the material because some people were saying like last week, oh, I can't find it. I can't find it. Because it's supposed to go out to the group. It's supposed to go to my personal page, not the group, the business page and my personal page. And then I have to share it to the group and to other groups. Oh, and I'll share this with you too. This is a Mexican saying, sana sana colita de rana. And that means heal, heal. Sana sana is heal, heal, little frog. Or your bottom, little frog. It's a song that Mexican mothers sing to their babies when they get a boo-boo. And so I'm wearing it today because this little frog is healing. All right, you guys. I will talk to you later. Hopefully tomorrow, if I get my shit together. It's getting together. I gotta get it together. I have no choice. All right, bye.